It's okay. Just take it on the chin. It's okay. There was some really good parts of the copy, man. Don't even sweat it. And also it says week 1, day 2. Are you really in week 1? There's no way. Anyways, if you're in week 1, then, I mean, bro, that's crazy. Most people who are in week 1 can't even form together a sentence. So, first approach. So what's the key to making ads work? Well, here's the problem, is that most of the time when people get your ads, they have no idea who the hell you are. Now you have to take them from stranger to buyer. And this is extremely hard. But I figured out a way that you can take people from watcher to buyer, which is literally so much easier. And then you don't have to worry about, well, how do I turn strangers to buyers with my ads? You only have to worry about, how do I turn strangers into watchers, and then my ads will do the rest for me. The answer? Retargeting ads. Yeah, I feel like that's more compelling than. One method I use is retargeting ads, so my audience feels the need to buy my products. I don't know, do you guys feel the difference? Maybe I'm tripping. How do I make the sale? By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need in the customer. By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need for a customer. This is another example of in short, people buy with emotions and justify with logic. So I sell the feeling. Yeah. So same thing that I said in the other email where it's like, how do I make the sale? By associating my products with an emotion that drives the feeling of need in the customer. I'm like, bruv. So instead, in short, people buy with emojis and justify with logic. So I sell the feeling. And then you can go into your example. Makes way more sense for people who are skimming. Take Ferrari, for example. We all know the gunshot sounds the car makes when it's redlined. LOL. This image immediately pops up in your head. Brand association is exactly how I became a millionaire in my 20s, using the meta flywheel strategy. I feel like this analogy could be said better. People associate Ferrari with refinement and wealth. If you see a guy driving Ferrari, what's the first thing you think? A, this guy must be homeless, or B, this guy must be wealthy and really cool. Or there's a guy who hopped out of Ferrari and a guy who's like homeless on the side of the road. Which one do you want to go up and talk to? The guy with the Ferrari. But what you don't know is that the guy with the Ferrari is actually homeless, and the guy who's homeless is actually just taking a vacation and wearing his sweatpants or something. And the reason why is because you associated the Ferrari with wealth, even though you don't actually know what's in the guy's bank account. You just assume because of the branding. That's just a suggestion / example. If I were to use that, I would make it much shorter and better, but you get the point, right? So what you're saying here does make sense, but it's not as obvious. You kind of have to work a little bit to understand it. So using the meta flywheel strategy, I help up-and-coming e-commerce stores scale to stupid numbers through our strategy. No. So using the brand association is exactly how I became the millionaire in my 20s. I would say, here's how to use the MFS, whatever you said there, strategy to scale to stupid numbers with ecom. I do see this happen sometimes. People just like say the unique mechanism and put a link to it. I've personally never been a fan. So again, suggestion, not a critique, but I wouldn't go with that. Also, this is already salesy before the CTA. That's like me saying the best way to outreach is by doing the Ferrari outreach method that I created that you can click here to buy. It works it's like nobody's going to click that and be like, oh yeah, I'm sold. So you kind of want to sell it before you even drop the CTA. It's the same as the justification first approach. I help up and coming, finding a product that prints money for years, setting up a storefront that hypnotizes customers, ad campaigns that build movement. Now, me and my students have cracked that. Yeah, this is the problem. This is a promo and nurture email. In my humble opinion, you shouldn't dookie where you eat. Translation: don't shit where you eat. You guys ever hear that expression? I realize that some people from not Western society, so people who are, I guess, European and other countries, Asian, don't really hear a lot of the sayings and idioms that I use or people in Canada and the US use. But yeah, don't shit where you eat. So what I mean by that is if you're going to do a promo email, do a promo email. If you're going to do a value email, do a value email and sell the click. And then on the page itself will sell the product. If it's a promo email, you are mentioning the product, mentioning why it's so awesome and why it's important to get right now, and then you're sending the link. With a nurture email, you are shifting beliefs. That's like the number one thing you have to do, shift beliefs. Now, once people's beliefs are shifted, they'll be somewhat interested. And then you leave the CTA, and then they go to the CTA on that page and they look at it. Not really in the email. This is kind of like both. Now me and my students have cracked the Zuckerberg code and no longer paying for his PJs. It sounds like you're saying pajamas right here. I know you're saying private jets, but I know how no longer have to pay for Zuckerberg's pajamas. We've noticed consistent sales and a crap ton of ROAS. So if you want virtual handheld guidance using my meta flywheel strategy, apply here. Here's what I would do. Give them the strategy for free. Explain how it works in this email, and then offer your help at the end. So here's exactly what this means. Nobody buys from you if they don't know that your system works first. They want to know your system works first. In order for them to know that your system works, they need to have belief shifts. Example, I was literally listening to Tanner Chittister say this the other day. There are lots of offers out there that say, I'll help you make more money. I'll help your business make more money. I'll just help you overall. Those offers never convert well. They never do well. The people who do the best in the industry always have a system, and they tell you their system. They don't say, I have this system where I find products that print money for years, set up a storefront, and ad campaigns that build a movement. It's like how? I help you find winning products that print money for years by using the outlier strategy. How does this work? Well, I go to look at products that were very popular 10 years ago that aren't very popular now. I figure out how to put a new spin on it because it's already been proven to sell, yet it's not trendy right now. But the thing with trends is that they come in and then they go out. It's the same with Crocs. See, Crocs, they went out of style for a while and now they came back into style. The same with these products. So using this exact strategy, I'm able to make people a lot more money. Now, there are two other parts to the flywheel strategy. If you want to learn exactly how they work, click this link. Then they click the link. Then they go to the VSL. Once they're on the VSL, they find out how the whole system works together. They're like, wow, I really like this system and I want to see how it works. And I want to implement it into my own business. And then in the VSL, it says, if you want to implement it into your own business, all you have to do is go down below and book a call. And in this way, you've shifted their beliefs before you try to sell them. Because that right there is how you make sales. That's marketing. Instead of, I can help you scale your e-com store to stupid numbers, so work with me. It was like literally it's the CTA before I even hear what the system is. And it doesn't usually work. Like my offers aren't, I'll help you become a copywriter. It's like in the boot camp, for example, there's the unique sales proposition, which is here's what you get. You get daily coaching calls. You get a bunch of content. That's not what you get. But how it works is I'll show you a very in-depth system on learning copywriting in 90 days. And then with the with the 40 CI, there are different unique mechanisms inside of there as well on how it works, strategies that you learn, and how they actually get applied. For example, we teach you high conversion client getting, right? So instead of just like giving you guys a template and telling you send this template to any business you come across like most people do and most people think, instead we teach you guys how to send out high quality outreach where you're much more likely to get clients, and also how to apply on things like Upwork and job boards because they give you a better bang for your buck when it comes to getting clients rather than just outreaching mindlessly. That's an example. And now that you guys are, you get the idea and it makes sense to you and you want to be a part of that, only then would you really consider being a part of the 40 CI or whatever, the system, considering that the system works. There's only so much tailored mentoring we can provide, so doors will close after the first 100 applicants. I'll be quick. Mark. Okay, I feel like I kind of reviewed that one to death, so I think it's good. Email value plus soft CTA. Interesting. This makes or breaks your funds approval. Okay. Is your grant application backwards? Okay. Want your funds approved? This is how. All right. The number one framework for securing grants. This is how you take home big money. A lot of these are similar and pretty basic. I would say add in a little intrigue if you can. sorta like a